This is the F1000 podcast for the Spanish Grand Prix. Mike, salute.
Olé.
Hey guys, Chaps here. We've been making money this season. If you've been making money with us or if you've been enjoying following along, leave us a like on the YouTube channel. It really helps us out. Or for our audio-only listeners, you can leave us a 5-star review. Now, let's get to the show. Well, hello, and welcome back to the F1000 podcast. What? Do I need to give you a count?
Keep it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hello.
Well, hello, and welcome back to the F1000 podcast. I'm Chaps, that's Mike, and we're here again to bet $1,000. This time on tomorrow's Spanish Grand Prix. Messed it up again, Mike. How you doing today?
Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna do great. Where do we? We have a pretty good clip going right now over the last few races, right? We've been the long shots aren't hitting, the flyer bets aren't hitting, but it seems like everything else is. So I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know about you.
I'm feeling pretty good. We're on a bit of a roll. We're in the positives, well in the positives this year. Very positive overall, of course. Let's keep it rolling, Mike. Now, bit of a crazy qualifying today. Another mixed up grid to start tomorrow. Let's talk high level. What do you like in here?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe is it easy money to just take Logan Sargent to be the last classified finisher at plus 137? I know you hate it, but he is at plus 137 for a reason. Like, he can't keep the car on the track. I mean, he stinks. Let's be honest. He's not good.
I don't hate it. I'll jot it down.
You jot it.
The only reason I'm not...
Remember...
Go ahead.
Remember that he stinks, though. Like, I'm just saying, remember that he stinks. That's the thing, is he stinks. He's not good.
The only reason I'm not jumping over it is it's the first one we're talking about, and it is on that negative path. I mean, we're picking a guy to just have a bad day, although I guess we're picking him to have just a normal day for Logan Sargent. Let's pencil it down. I don't love it.
Let's pencil it down.
I don't love it at the line. I don't love it at 137.
Okay, that's fine. Let's have throw something out there. What do you think?
Okay, well, I'm very curious. How do you feel about the Aston Martins? So we know Alonso starts in P8 after the Gasly penalty, but he took damage in Q1 when he went wide on the final corner. So that is not representative of where he should be. Has Stroll finally found a connection with the car where he's in P5? And do you think, I mean, everyone on the grid is talking that they have the better race pace over the Mercedes and the McLaren. Do you see Stroll going up? Do you think that this was just a flash in the pan today? I'm curious how you're feeling about Aston Martin.
Yeah, I'm bullish on Aston Martin. I like these starting positions on the grid because I think we can extract some value if we look at the right bet. I think Stroll, after that total disaster last week, him and Mike Crack, the team principal, they both came out of Monaco saying, okay, the goal next week is just to get into the points. Right? Okay. They set a very manageable target for him going into next week. And I don't know if you saw Alonso was talking about Stroll's form over the course of the week. I think he had given some quotes. And if you really think about it, he actually kind of has, because I'm assuming when we talk about Aston Martin, we love Fernando Alonso. But if we're looking at a bet where it involves both Aston Martins in the points or something like that, or in the top 6 or whatever, I think that's kind of the direction that you're taking us in. We have to have Lance Stroll form at a level that the car is capable of. He needs to extract the most out of the car, and there's a lot there, right? Mm-hmm. So Alonso was saying, he's kind of had a bit of bad luck if you really look at it, right? I mean, he drove amazingly in Bahrain considering the injury. And then in Jeddah, he was out with that exhaust problem, so that's not his fault. Miami, they did that weird thing in Q1. Remember where they just he was using one set of tires and he didn't make it through, and then he started at the back of the grid. Mm-hmm. So he kind of got shortchanged by just a decision that the team made. And then last week, I mean, realistically, it's the debris from Lando's car that kind of fucks him.
Right.
So he hasn't driven all that well, but he also hasn't really been handed an easy run at things recently. And we might be looking at the book's giving him kind of longer odds, even though he's starting in 5th, right? I think they're not giving him an inch at this point, and he hasn't earned it. But we might be able to be ahead of the curve if we try to find something.
The book's giving Alonso shorter odds than Stroll. I'm pretty sure for podium, for top 6, everything is shorter for Alonso. Yeah. I don't think if it comes down to it and they're driving right behind each other, I don't think the team gives an order to let Alonso pass. In fact, I think Alonso would sit there and say, no, let Lance be P3. Let him get the podium, or let him get
I
the
actually
extra
agree.
points.
And that's a very interesting dynamic that, that's what happens when you're the boss's son, right? I mean, the dynamic is completely different
And
with that team.
he's been spoiled this year with riches. He's not, if it comes down, one of the things I was looking at was, do they both get on the podium? And I think if it's, let's just say, for example, it's Verstappen, Sainz stays up there, and then it's the two Aston Martins. There's no team orders that's pulling Stroll off the podium in favor of Alonso.
Yeah, but we're not going to take both of them on the
No,
podium.
no.
I'm thinking,
I'm not saying we do. And by the way,
yeah,
both of them is minus 750. Just Stroll alone on the podium is minus 700. Makes no sense to go both cars.
plus 700.
Sorry, plus 700.
Oh, sorry, yeah. It's plus 700 for him. I mean, he's not
And
going
it's
to finish on the
750
podium,
for
but
both. So if you're looking at both, we just look
yeah.
at Stroll. But I don't know.
I completely agree.
He's got Norris
I'm
and Lewis.
Buddy, I'm going to go. I as soon as Mike Crack and Stroll talked about it literally on Monday after Monaco, and they talked about let's get double points. Right away in my head, I'm thinking, listen, if these guys end up kind of in mixed positions on the grid because something happens, and lo and behold, something happens to Alonso with his floor damage in Q1, then minus 200 for both these guys to finish in the points. They're both in the points. They start in the points. Okay, on that, man, do I dare even say this? You're probably just gonna shake. Yes, you can see you're shaking your head already. I can see it.
I'm just looking back and forth in my notes. What do you got? Open mindset here.
I know.
There's no bad suggestions when we're talking.
Well, you might think this is a bad suggestion because it's fucking winning margin.
Yeah, it's a terrible suggestion. You want to go 10? It better be 10 plus is what you're going to throw on the table.
Wow, is it possible that it? How could it not be 10 seconds? We're going to lose it because of a safety car. Every single time, we always justify taking 5 to 10 or less than 5 because we're like, fuck, and you get that added value of a late safety car.
There's walls
it never
everywhere.
happens.
I mean, I could talk about a crazy flyer.
I think we might. Okay, fine. Give me a crazy flyer.
Or do we want to save the flyers? Let's save the flyers.
If you have crazy flyers, let's save the crazy flyers.
Save the crazy.
But let's talk. We need some meat and potatoes bets right now. We don't really have
No, we don't.
Oh, you know what came up? Okay, I gotta check group betting.
Does Lando stay on the podium? Who do you see in your mind's eye? Who do you see the podium being? Verstappen.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, fine. Let me get into this then. You know who I see on the podium?
And I'm not going
Lewis
straight
Hamilton.
TriCast. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, Lewis Hamilton.
I
man, I don't know what it is. I just have a feeling that Lewis Hamilton. So I loved his quote. Yeah, I think he said it after qualifying today. He said, "I don't know how I'm going to do it," or something like that, but I'm going to try to win the race. He thinks he can win the race. He's fucked. Lewis Hamilton is fucked. And you know what? So think about that though. Think about Lewis Hamilton. Think about Lewis Hamilton. All he's done for the last year and a half is say that they are not in it, that the car's shit, that they can't win, they can't compete. And for him, he felt so good coming out of qualifying today that he thought, and I think he seemed like he was feeling decent about after the long runs in FP2. He thinks that he could win the race. I know he's saying that. He's saying it almost facetiously, but he's still saying it though, which he hasn't said it in years, literally.
But I think a big part of that is he's finally optimistic on the direction they're headed. They've made their philosophy change, and he's like, okay, we're going.
So what I like about this is another being ahead of the curve bet. Are we getting added value? So what did I write down?
It's minus 150 now. I saw it at 110 earlier, which I liked. I wrote down.
I liked plus 175 for Lewis to come in second.
I was looking at Podium. You want second?
Minus 150 is fine. I don't need to bite off more than I could chew. But I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Him on the podium, minus 150. It would not be crazy if he was on. He's starting 4.
Well, all he has to do is pass Lando right now.
Yeah. He's going to pass. That's it, right? So what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. Are we getting ahead? Are we getting value ahead of the curve? Right? Is the corner finally being turned for Mercedes? And Lewis is realizing right now that the car, he's getting a handle on it. He thinks it's going to be competitive. And all of a sudden we start to see a more competitive Mercedes over the next, half dozen races. And we get on them early with a minus 150 for him to make one position up.
I like Lewis at minus 150.
like
on
I
the
could just
podium.
I was like we just so rarely do we talk like we never take like a single driver with the Mercs. We're always like
I
we
know.
just take him for reliability, we take him for track position type of thing, but like he just this weekend like I think this might be it.
We wrote down Max leads lap 10 at minus 350. Does he lead every lap of this race?
I don't like the race leaders bet, but like I understand what you're saying.
Just
Like is
one
the
leader
battle
plus
yeah
225.
like is buddy it's so interesting
He's just 30
because
seconds down the track before anyone's even pitting.
I legitimately was going to come with Max last pit stop again at plus 800. But if he's the last pit stop, then he is the only leader.
He was 4 tenths faster than Sainz in qualifying today. Like
How
he's gonna run away with this race.
you've convinced me. Like nobody's even going to challenge him. Like
Nobody's gonna challenge him.
Signs isn't going to like it's think about that. Signs is in second. He's on the front row in front of all of Spain,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, I'm not. He's not going to stick his nose in. And Max's his tires are going to be ready to go, and Max's aren't. Just how the cars work. It is what it is.
Yep.
And Max is going to go into turn one with the lead.
So
like, okay,
are you interested in one race leader?
okay, I had
It's not.
so that's it's plus 225, right?
Yeah, it's not long enough to be the flyer. Like that'd have to
No.
be a bet on the slip.
Okay, how about okay? Can I just entertain you with this because
Yeah.
I saw it and then I didn't think I was reading it right. But okay, Group Two.
I haven't looked at the groups. They're out. Okay.
Yeah, Group Two.
Don't tell me who you like.
Lando Norris. Okay.
You can read the group. Read the group for the folks.
Norris at 163 minus 163. Lance Stroll at plus 225. Ocon at plus 600. Russell at plus 650.
I have a guy that I would like out of those.
Okay.
Who do you like?
Yeah, it's
You
Ocon.
brought it up. Yeah, it's Ocon. Yeah.
Man, plus 600
Yeah.
though. Like
Yeah.
is that not the best value flyer I've ever seen? He's a race winner. He's done it before, but he looked really, really, really comfortable in that car. And I don't think he's ever been in a better car. I think this is the best car that he's been in.
Yeah.
I really like what Renault and Alpine have done. So like that's a flyer plus 600, dude. I'll put
And that
$100
is
on that
that's a
easily.
flyer value, which is great about it. Do you think there's a chance Lewis Hamilton ends this race with the fastest lap?
Yeah, I do. I think that could
I think so
happen.
too. He's already got one this year.
I think he could do it now, but we're not going to do that though. We're not going to take fast.
You don't know the
What is
line.
that? What is it? It's like plus like 2,000 or something.
2,500.
It's a I don't know, man. It's a complete. It's just random. You might as well take who's the
Kind of.
fastest pit stop.
Kind
It's not even.
of.
No, it's not.
It's not that
It's
random.
kind of random. It's kind of random.
The Mercedes is a car that in race conditions,
I mean,
when he's not
if he's
fighting
going to
for the
drive,
lead,
if he's going to drive the wheels off the car, he might have the fastest lap.
he might. He might be the only one in that top six that, to your point, he might be the only one in that top six pushing for a podium.
50 bucks. Okay, fine. 50 bucks on Ocon, 50 bucks on Lewis to have the fastest lap. Wait, plus 2,500. Like I'm not going to not entertain that. I'm not going to be the guy who says no to that and then it happens and you go fuck you, Mike. I know.
I don't mind. So we have two flyers. I don't mind that. $50 each.
Okay, I do want to pitch something else for a
Okay.
bulk bet. Okay, I'll start with this. Did I miss something with McLaren over the weekend? Like, did they have a failure? Did they have a technical problem?
I don't think so.
Nothing happened with them. Like, both drivers, like, I mean, Lando Norris had really good qualifying, and Piastri was reasonably competitive again.
He's in the top 10.
Yet, for both cars to be classified, it's minus 250. Think about that. Just finish the race, both McLarens. It's minus 250, and they've had exactly one car come out of the first race of the season where, I mean, McLaren was way behind the eight ball at that point.
Yeah.
And then why are they getting shit on? That is a tremendous amount of disrespect for like maybe the most storied participant in F1.
Yeah.
McLaren,
You're not wrong.
they're like we don't think you're pretty well with well also Williams is pretty storied too, but they're a fucking mess. But minus 250 to finish the race.
Do you like that better than the Aston Martin both points, or maybe we do both?
No, we do both. No, Aston Martin
I'm
both
thinking
points.
we move away.
I'm sold on that. I'm sold on
I think
Aston
we
Martin
move
both
away
points.
from the 1 liter.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's hard because I really there's too much that can happen, but I mean, it's always a nice way of capturing Max's dominance in some ways. What is that?
Yeah,
No, we already have two flyer bets.
plus
We have two
225.
50-50. We have two 50s that we're going
I
to throw
know we
down
have the
already.
2 longer flyers.
We like Lewis. We like Aston Martin. We like this. Okay, that's okay. So that's our board then, maybe.
Both McLarens to finish the race.
Is okay. So just look. Okay, find me. We have to do a look. Find me a minus 250 to minus 200 bet that's better than that bet.
I didn't have anything written down.
I know,
Just
and
for the record.
maybe we just need to take a quick look to see. We're so bullish on the Mercedes being better. Are we not giving George Russell enough credit?
I'm not big on George. I think he's not good in that car right now.
Yeah,
You know how they say
I don't.
drivers
He didn't
like,
look comfortable. Yeah, he didn't look comfortable.
you know how they
You're
say
right.
Alonso uses 25% of his brain on driving, and the rest of it he's calling penalties on everyone else. And
He's doing it.
yeah, I think George is using 100% of his brain on driving that car right now.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
he
an
didn't
interesting.
see Lewis Hamilton behind him.
I know.
He said
Man,
the team didn't
that's
tell
so
him the car's
true.
coming. They're on a straight. You have mirrors. You could have.
No.
You would have seen him. He's
Man.
so focused on the cars bouncing. I don't know. George's gonna have a tough day tomorrow.
Yeah, I love that how dialed in you are on that. That makes complete sense to me. Absolutely,
He didn't see
something to
Lewis
avoid.
coming from behind him, dude.
That's fucked. I can't believe that happened.
Let me reset
Yeah,
it here.
Lewis. Yeah, minus one.
So okay, so we've got both McLarens to finish the race, minus 250. Both Aston Martins in the points, minus 200. We got Lewis on the podium for minus 150, and then we got $50 on both of these for sure. Ocon to win Group 2, which has Lando, Stroll. Do you remember the last one?
It's George Russell.
Lando, Stroll, and Russell. And then Lewis Hamilton to have the fastest lap of the race at plus 2,500. And Ocon Group 2 is plus 600.
Is it 350, 352? 350, 352? Yeah, maybe.
I think Lewis is the least likely of those three.
Sure.
And I'm not
well,
sure.
he is based on the odds, and I feel like
For sure.
the Aston Martins and the McLarens are sort of a crapshoot. I mean, it's minus 250 to minus 200. It might as well
The
be
odds are probably
350.
reflective.